Hi guys, it's Nancy and it's August 1st, which means it is Glimmer of the Month kit. Yay! Alright, so Spellbinders gives you something pretty neat this month. First of all, you're getting a roll of matte gold foil, which is GLF002. And I do already have one here, and you can see how it's kind of have a satin finish. It doesn't have a shiny finish, which sometimes you don't want shiny, right? So this has a very kind of elegant satin finish. So we'll see what that looks like. And then you're going to get 4 hot foil plates. So the 4 hot foil plates you're going to get are this kind of squoval shape there. You're going to get this flower piece. And then you're going to get 2 sentiments. One says thinking of you and one says sending happiness. You are going to get the die which cuts out the floral image. A little cluster of florals there. You're going to get the thinking of you and sending happiness die. So again, these 3 are dies to cut those out after they are done being foiled. And I'm going to show you how to use this solid squoval piece. So we're going to start with these 3. We're going to put them on our glimmer. And we are going to foil everything at once and then die cut them out. So I have those on the plate. I have my foil already cut out. I have my paper already cut out. Okay, and my machine is hot, so we're going to turn the timer on and let that warm up. I'm going to move these aside for a second. And I'm going to bring up my Spellbinders Platinum Aqua machine. And we're going to cut that out. Make sure you always also check out, I do have a clear stamp of the month video. And I made a really cute fall card right here. I smudged the ink after I made the card. Has that happened to you? So I'll have to re-stamp that, cut it out, and I'll glue it on top of there. Okay, our timer is almost done blinking. It's about a 60-second timer. So as soon as that's done, we'll feed it through here and then we'll die cut it. Okay, our timer is done. So I'm going to slowly run this through. And I think we're okay with once. I didn't add a shim. I hope I don't need that, so. Give that a second to cool down, and then while that's cooling down, I'm actually going to take, I'm going to have the dies ready to cut out, and then I'm going to put this solid plate on there to warm up. One of my dies just slid under there. Okay, so use my little tongs. Okay, so they go on the heat safe plate. They're going to cool down, and we're going to put this guy on the glimmer to warm up. So that'll take just a moment. Okay, so while that is warming up, let's check the reveal here. Okay, I had a little bit of overfoiling and a little underfoiling here. Not too hateful. It's not exactly what I wanted, but I think I can still work with that. Okay, so for the overfoiling, I'm just going to take an eraser. Actually, it's not that much overfoiling. The eraser takes most of that right off. Okay, and we're going to die cut the floral. Let me grab a little bit of tape to hold my die in place. Okay. Oh, too close to that one, so I won't be able to cut that one out. And we'll come back and cut that one out second. So I'm die cutting on the cutting plates that come with the die cutting system. Not die cutting on my Spellbinders platform. Do not die cut on that. Okay, once this is done, cut that out. And I'm going to cut out this Sending Happiness. I had it probably a little too close, but we should be okay here. Oh yeah, just right. Okay, same thing, going to run that through. Okay, so we're going to put the die cutting machine away for a second. And all I'm going to do, real simple here, is color this in. We have our floral image. We have our sentiment. Just going to grab some color pencils here. Nothing too hard. Very simple to do. You could use markers as well. It's not going to affect the foiling. I always say color after you foil. That way the foil doesn't stick to whatever medium you're using. For example, these color pencils, because they're wax-based, they might melt down a little bit, and then the foil could stick. So I always say foil first and then color second. And I'm not doing anything super fancy there. Oops, just went outside the lines. That's okay. And I like this because these are nice and easy to color images. I don't like to do coloring. So if you've seen my videos, you know that. I like things that are very easy to do. Of course, you could go in and layer more colors. I'm just being very simple here with this. And you certainly don't have to color it. You can just leave it foiled and it looks fine as well. Okay, we have our nice little bouquet colored there. And I have a piece of the mahogany cardstock. And I'm going to step this up. We're going to run this through with one of the embossing folders. Nope, that's too thick. All right, let me grab my platform. All right, I'm going to grab my 3D embossing folder platform, run that through, and I'll be right back for you guys. Okay, guys, I used my new Spellbinders platform with the adapter for the 3D folders. And you can see how beautifully that came out. So I have my card base. And I'm going to cut this down just a little bit. I'm going to make this 5 1/4 by 4. So it's going to be a little smaller than A2 size. And you want to cut that after you run it through your embossing folder, because sometimes it does shrink just depending on the design of the embossing folder. Look at all of that detail in there. So pretty. Ooh, both sides look pretty. I think I'll go with this side. Got a clog in my glue. Do you hate when that happens? Okay. Okay, so now I have a small white mat around that border. Now we're going to bring our little floral in. Could go either way. I kind of like this one at the top. Hanging floral sprig there. Put a stamping block on there to hold it in place. Alright, so that's card number 1. We're just going to set that aside to dry for a second. Now let's work on card number 2. So we have that solid piece in there. So what you can do with this solid piece is you can actually foil the negative. So I'm going to cut off the sentiments here. Probably should not have placed them so close. But I'll show you guys what you can do here. And so we have this beautiful floral image. This is the negative. And you may not want the whole piece. But what you can do is place this on here. And I'm actually going to use colored cardstock. And for this, I am going to add just that extra paper shim because I want a lot of pressure on here. And we're going to hit the timer on that, and then I'm going to let that count down, and we will come back in 60 seconds with the platinum die cutting machine. Okay guys, our timer is done. I'll pull this off. Oh, I think I just shifted that plate a little bit. We'll find out in a second here. I felt a little wiggle. I'm going to run it once and I'm going to run it twice. Let's see how we did here. Okay, so that's what I want. I want this to cool down a second. I'm going to take this off of here. It's very hot, and I'm going to put those two sentiments back on here. Spread them out a little bit. Okay, so then once this cools down, we're going to reveal this, and this should all transfer over. Ta-da! And you can certainly use it like that, but I'm going to cut it out. Been a while since I used this. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to carefully cut this out of the center. I want to leave the edges because I can still use this as a matte layer. You could just leave it like this, but I want to cut this out, and we're going to use this mahogany cardstock as the matte layer. Did I get it? This is pretty thick cardstock. It's 100 pounds, so. Ta-da! Okay, so we're going to still use this. I'm going to leave that. This we can throw away now. Okay, let's move all of this aside. Let's hot foil the sentiments. And then we're going to die cut those out, and we're going to put all of this together as a card. So I'm going to cut this down to 5 1/4 by 4 with my Tim Holtz trimmer. So we have some fun edges there, and cut this layer to 5 by 3 3/4. Of course, you could use dies as well, whatever you have. we have this, that. We're going to have this, and we're going to have the sentiment. So let's do our sentiments. Let's see if they foiled better this time around. Oh, perfect. Much better that time. So we're going to die cut these guys. So now we can put together a second card with all of those pieces. So I'm going to glue this Sending Happiness over this because I have a little bit of underfoiling there. This will also give it a little dimension. That's how I cover up my mistakes. Perfect. So this one's done. And then we have this one where we have our card base. It's just regular white cardstock. Of course, you could use the gold cardstock, would have looked nice too. That would match nicely. And we have our floral image, and I'm just going to cut this down a little bit more because of doing it with the X-Acto knife. It's not as smooth as I would have liked. So I'm just going to clean these edges up. You can also use that solid plate on the sentiments and then die cut the sentiments too. So it's not just on images. It's very versatile to use those solid hot foil plates on other images, other sentiments as well. And Spellbinders has quite a few of them in their shop. They don't have a full card size one yet. I don't know if they plan on bringing one out. There we go. That looks better now that it's cleaned up. Probably pop this up and put it up on foam dots. Do I want it like that? So there we go, 2 foiled cards out of the August 2022 Glimmer of the Month kit. Again, you get the matte gold foil here. You get the Squoval solid plate, which you could use either way. You get the floral hot foil bouquet. You get the die to cut out the solid hot foil bouquet. You get the 2 sentiments, the thinking of you and sending happiness. And you get the 2 dies to cut those out. Check out my other videos showing other things, other glimmer kits of the month. And if you have any questions, post them down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel and clicking the bell so you get notifications when new videos post. Thanks for watching, guys, and keep on foiling. Bye!